Hey, movie fans, let's talk about Testament, 1983, a film that sneaks up on you and packs a serious emotional punch. So here's the quick rundown. Testament was directed by Lynne Littman, with a screenplay by John Sacrit Young based on a short story called The Last Testament by Carol Amen. You've got Jayne Alexander as the mum, William Devane as the dad, and a cast including a super young Lukas Haas. The movie first hit a few theatres on November 4th, 1983, then rolled out a little wider in early 84. It's only 90 minutes long, was made for peanuts, about $2 million, and was shot in sleepy Sierra Madre, California. Jayne Alexander was up for an Oscar for this one. Here's the setup. Testament isn't your usual end-of-the-world flick. There are no epic bomb blasts, no mushroom clouds, no military panic or action scenes. Everything happens in a regular, quiet suburb near San Francisco. One random afternoon, the TV and radio start talking about flashes of light on the East Coast, and then they go dead. That's it. The war is over before you even know it happened. What follows is just pure devastation, but all extremely close to home. It's about the Weatherly family, Carol, Tom, he's not around for long, and their 3 kids. Radiation sickness creeps in, the world falls apart, and your heart basically just breaks in slow motion. Now, about the vibe. Testament is quiet, like really quiet. No music except for a little piano played by the kids or a priest from the church. The film looks soft and kind of dreamy at first, thanks to cinematographer Stephen Poster, but it gets bleaker and colder as things go south. Since Littman came from documentaries, everything feels really real and natural, especially with the kid actors who are freaking heartbreaking to watch. Lukas Haas was only 5 when he filmed this. What's this movie really about? Well, it's not just the end of the world. It's about how normal everything can feel while everything is falling apart. Grocery shopping, school plays, even just talking on the ham radio. Life goes on, kind of, even as people start to die. It also hits hard on the idea of who gets left to pick up the pieces. Dad's probably dead in the city, so Mum has to hold it together and try to keep her kids alive, even while she's watching them slip away. The kids lose their innocence fast. The middle one starts photographing the dead with his Polaroid, and the youngest just clings to his teddy bear as he gets sicker. Then there's Carol, the mum, who refuses to totally give up, even when she has to dig graves in the backyard. It's brutal and beautiful at the same time. When this came out, it barely made a blip at the box office, thanks to the giant media storm around the day after, which aired on TV the same week and had like 210 million viewers. Testament was more of a quiet indie and barely made its budget back, but critics loved it. Roger Ebert gave it 4 stars and called it the first movie to seriously ask, what would it feel like if the bomb actually did drop? Alexander's performance is considered one of the best of the decade, especially by people who know their stuff. Since then, Testament keeps showing up on most disturbing movies lists, especially for parents. It's taught in film classes as a masterclass in using off-screen space, because you never see the war itself, just what happens after. It paved the way for movies like The Road and Leave the World Behind. Paramount finally gave it a full 4K restoration in 2023, so now it actually looks as beautiful and heartbreaking as it always should have. A few extra tidbits. This was supposed to be a PBS TV movie until test screenings just destroyed audiences and Paramount snapped it up for theatres. Lukas Haas was so little, he only worked a few hours a day, and his toughest scenes were often shot in one take because the kid was just that good. The last scene, with Jayne Alexander lighting birthday candles while the house goes dark, totally improvised. Oh, and the closing line. Let's just say it'll stick with you for years. So if you haven't watched Testament yet, get ready. It's not a blockbuster, it's a gut punch. But more than 40 years later, it's still one of the most honest, devastating nuclear apocalypse movies ever made. And yes, it'll break your heart.